Hello, I'm Andy. I've been interested in astronomy and space exploration all my life. I've been involved with various astronomical societies. I write articles for websites and magazines, and I lecture on such topics as gravitational waves and black holes. Welcome to Space Oddities.
Welcome to Space Oddities. My name is Kareem. I'm the Public Events Coordinator at the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada's Montreal Centre, the Astronomy Prof here at John Abbott College, as well as a presenter every Tuesday night on the Global Star Parties by Explore Alliance. Our wonderful panel here is ready to share with you the world of astronomy and space, all the news, all the topics of the day, and we hope you'll join us.
Hello, my name is Keith Mosley and I did a degree and a doctorate in Earth Sciences at the University of Birmingham before becoming Head of Geology and Head of Physics at Monmouth School in Wales. I retired in 2015, but I carried on working for the Open University as an Associate Lecturer in Astronomy. But now in retirement, I write educational materials for schools in Britain and also in Europe.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm an amateur astronomer, astrophotographer, astronomy sketcher and an astronomy and space artist based in the UK. I have a really busy talk schedule talking about astrophotography and lots of other areas of astronomy. I run astronomy sketching workshops, I do outreach events, and I also do astronomy writing for magazines and books. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys on Space Oddities.
Hi, I'm Daz and welcome to Space Oddities. Over the last 2 years I've been fortunate enough to work with this panel on astroradio.earth, talking space to the world. I also produce my own educational / documentary style programs, and being a jack of all trades and master of none, the content varied a lot. I would like to extend an invitation to you to join me and the panel on Mondays 8 PM UK time, where we can all sit and chat space. See you soon.
Hello, this is Pete Williamson. I'm a retired professional astronomer, founder of Astro Radio and Solar Sphere Astronomical Music Festival. Sadly, Astro Radio is no more, and this panel that we're all going to be part of was born out of Astro Radio's Reach Out and Touch Space. So that's me introducing myself. There's nothing else to say. I'm a retired professional astronomer, still doing the odd talk, not doing too much these days, but still doing the odd talk, and I'll contribute to this panel from time to time. So I hope to see you online very soon. Thank you very much.
Hi, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave, and I reside in Liverpool, UK. I have followed all things space and astronomy since I was a little child back in the 60s. I've been a member of the Liverpool Astronomical Society for 46 years, and currently I am the Observatory Director. I'm involved in outreach work, and like many of you, I have that passion to share my knowledge with all like-minded people. Welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the show, folks.
Hi, I'm Bernard. Welcome to Space Oddities. I'm a science writer. I'm published by Springer Publishing, and I focus mainly on planetary science and space technologies. But I'm also a science speaker. I do a lot of public outreach events for astronomy organizations in the UK and elsewhere. We're going to have so much fun on Space Oddities, so I hope you'll join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Lou, and welcome to Space Oddities. I'm a planetary scientist and professor of astronomy at Marymount University. I spent most of my career working on NASA space missions, working on NASA ground systems, and what I love most, creating space science education programs that reach people all over the world. I hope you'll join us as we explore the mysteries of space together on Space Oddities.
Hello, my name is Roger. I live in the West Country in the UK, and since I've taken early retirement, I've taken up my love of astronomy back again, and I'm getting quite into astrophotography, especially lunar, solar, planetary and deep sky. So hopefully I can help anyone along with hints and tips. I may be able to give you some advice later on as we progress through our groups in the many weeks and months to come. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rachel and welcome to Space Oddities. I'm here because, like the rest of the panel, I'm passionate about astronomy. I love to share my passion with children, and I do regular outreach events and talks with children and young adults. I also write articles for a magazine for young stargazers, along with taking pictures of the night sky with my husband. I hope you'll join along for the astronomical fun. See you soon!
Hello, I'm Simon and welcome to Space Oddities. I've been doing astronomy now since the year dot. I've been a member of several clubs and currently I'm helping out run Bath Astronomers in Somerset. I enjoy repairing telescopes and running outreach, so I hope you're going to enjoy Space Oddities as much as I am.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael. I'm an amateur astronomer from the Midlands, and I'm a member of the panel of astronomers on Space Oddities, a new weekly chat show with a difference, featuring a panel of experts discussing all things astronomy. I've been interested in astronomy for most of my life. I enjoy learning everything there is to know about this fascinating subject. I have been a keen member of astronomical societies, including working at council level. Although not an active observer, I enjoy following the various space exploration programs from around the world. I do hope you can join me and our panel of experts on Space Oddities.
Good evening to Space Oddities. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight we have a little bit of a special event for you. It's quiz night, so we hope you've all got your pens and paper ready and whatever you need, except Google, of course. And that's it. We're going to divide the quiz into 2 rounds. We're going to have a round of what we like to call easier questions, and then a round of perhaps not so hard, not so easy questions. So you're all very welcome. Pens and papers at the ready. Before we start the quiz, I'm going to hand you over to Roger, who will do his normal Monday update of the night sky. So Roger, over to you.
Thank you very much, and welcome to our 4th episode of our Space Oddities YouTube program. Right, okay, let me just go to my program. Right, okay, so we've got for the week of the 27th, which is today, to the 3rd of July. So the phases of the moon, we've got almost a full moon, which will be tomorrow, and gradually getting out to about an 18% moon by the end of next weekend. So that is interesting. So if we had any astronomical darkness, we'd be all out there observing away. But for us in the Northern Hemisphere, we've still got our 5 planetary lineup with the moon for the moment. Although as we get to the new moon, it will disappear from Tuesday. And as you can see, still quite a good selection. Although if you do want to take a picture of the planets at the moment, they are spreading further and further apart. Just to quickly show you, this is an image that I took on the 22nd with Venus, Mars, the Moon, Jupiter, and then Saturn on the far right. That was taken during the wee hours of the morning, roughly about 3:30, of which I've been doing quite a few images, and I'm now paying the price. A few nights ago, we had a little lineup between Venus, the Moon, and the Pleiades, which I just about managed to capture during the about 4:20 in the morning. So I was quite pleased with that.
Beautiful photo, Roger.
And that was quite an interesting scene to look at. So quite happy with that. And now we'll continue on with the Southern Hemisphere. And as you can see, we've still got the planets all still visible there, but this time it's a bit more sensible at 6:25 in the morning rather than 3 hours earlier that we have. So as you can see, Mercury is dwindling towards the sun, and Saturn is splitting away. And that's all the information that I have for you this week. Nothing else for me to say about that.
Great, thank you, Roger. So let's move on to the quiz then. So pens and papers at the ready. This is, I hasten to add, just a bit of fun. So, you know, you can Google the answers if you want to, but what will be the point? It's just a bit of fun. And we will give you the answers to both rounds at the end of the quiz. And then what we're going to do is ask you right at the end of the quiz in the live chat just to put your scores, and we'll see who's top dog. And obviously, we want you to be honest about the numbers, points that you scored, which I'm sure you will be. So if you're all ready, pens ready.
Hold on, Andy. Should we let the viewers know that we have none of us know each other's questions?
Oh, that's true. That's very true. That's
we're actually going to try and play ourselves. Obviously, there's going to be skewed because we already know the answers of our questions. But
yeah,
I'm definitely going to try and follow and see whether I can answer as many questions as possible.
Okay. Yes, I think I might do the same. So
and I think we should try and share that afterwards and share our embarrassment to our viewers.
Yeah,
we didn't agree on that before we started.
Absolutely. I think embarrassment will be the key word. So,
oh dear, there's someone at the door. I've got to go.
Yeah. So we will be playing along as well. I think that's a good idea because we don't know each other's questions. We're also hoping because of that we don't duplicate questions. And you're not going to get the double number of points for answering the same question twice, unfortunately. So let's move on. So I think, first of all, we'll go back to Roger for your first question. This is the easy round. We'll each ask you one question and then we'll have a break. And in the break between the two rounds, we will visit Rachel's weekly viewers gallery with the images that you've been so kind to send into us. And Rachel, could I ask you at some point tonight to put the email address again in the live chat to send your images? If you do have any images that you would like us to show that you're particularly proud of, or even if you're not, then Rachel will put the email address in the live chat for you to send them to. We do love looking at your images, and we thank you so much for sending them in just to see what people are doing out there. So thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Anyway, as I said, Roger, you can kick us off. What is your first question?
Well, mine's quite appropriate from what I usually present on at the start. And my first easy question is, name the area that Apollo 11 landed. It can either be the English name or the Latin name.
Fair
Either
enough.
one will be accepted.
And I hasten to add, in this first easy round, each of these will be a 1 point question. So 1 point for each of the questions in the first round. And we've been joined by Kareem from Canada now. Hello, Kareem. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone.
How are things at RASC? You've been a bit busier here.
We have our General Assembly this weekend. It's been absolutely smacked. We've just been busy with talks and presentations. My students delivered posters to the RASC. Wow. That was incredible to see. And 3 of them even stepped up for presentations. So that was really, really wonderful.
That's pretty good.
And one of my former students won the President's Award, which is the highest award you can get as a member.
Superb.
Awesome.
You must be so proud.
I'm incredibly proud. I'm on Mars. I jumped all the way off the surface.
Well done. Okay, Roger, could you just repeat the question before we move on to the next?
Right. Name the area that the Apollo 11 craft landed. They can either be the English name or the Latin name.
Okay, 1 point for that. Thank you, Roger. Next, in this sort of celebrity squares arrangement of windows I have on my screen, we're going to go to Rachel.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sort of going down a constellation theme. So my question is, which constellation is represented or known as the Little Fox?
The Little Fox. Ah, interesting, interesting. So which constellation is known as the Little Fox? For 1 point. Thank you, Rachel. Next, we're going to move clockwise round to Bernard. Evening, Bernard.
Hello, good evening again. So I had a visual, but I think this is I'll just read this one out loud. It's just going to be hopefully, I mean, easy is relative, right? So, okay, here's my question. What part of the electromagnetic spectrum is between the ultraviolet and gamma rays range? So what is the name of the range between the ultraviolet and the gamma rays in the electromagnetic spectrum?
Good question. Good question.
And as a reminder, the electromagnetic spectrum is fundamental if you want to understand and study space at any distance, basically.
Quite right, quite right. We will, of course, repeat all these questions quickly at the end of the first round. So moving swiftly on to the man with the least, Daz.
Hello and welcome, viewer. Right. My simple question is, can you name the tallest volcano in the solar system and where is it?
So that's, where is the tallest volcano in the solar system and what's it called? For 1 point.
So is that 1 point if you...
Yeah.
What if you only get half of that question right?
You don't get anything.
Rachel.
Oh, harsh.
You're like me on a spelling test on a Friday.
Andy's one of those teachers.
Yeah. Harsh but fair. Okay. So we're moving on from Daz's question about volcanoes to Lou's question, which is?
Staying in the solar system, which planets have rings?
Interesting.
Do you want the names or just how many?
You have to get them all right for the point.
Which planets have rings? For 1 point from Lou. Which planets have rings? And you have to get them all for the point. Fantastic. Now, Kareem, did you manage to put any questions together?
You're not going to believe this.
Go on, try me. Ah!
Oh.
I went one past Lou. I asked for the number of solar system objects with rings, and I asked for 4 of them, other than Saturn. So I gave one away.
Well, I think it's a fairly safe bet that everybody knows Saturn has rings. Hopefully.
I want to change my question then.
Thank you, Lou.
My new question is, what are the rings of Saturn made of?
Oh, okay. What are the rings of Saturn made of? So Scrubbly's question.
And I didn't have that written in my slide, so that's good.
That's good.
Don't write it now.
Okay. Slight change of plan. So Lou's question is now, what are the rings of Saturn made of? And I think that's possibly...
Can't we just add it as a secondary question?
And that's mine.
Okay.
Other than Saturn, name 4 solar system objects with rings. And solar system objects, I'm not limiting you to planets now.
Interesting. Right. Just give me 1 second while I set my question up. Okay. Okay, and here is my question coming up now. Okay, so here's the question. What is the name of this observatory and where would you find it? What is the name of this observatory and where would you find it?
Are you looking for the name of a country or the name of the mountain?
I will settle for the name of the country. What is the name of this observatory? Where would you find it? We'll leave it at one country. We won't.
Do right answers get a trip there?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so that was my first question. Okay, so that I think is the end of the first round. No,
I've got Keith's questions.
Oh, Keith has sent in some questions as well. Daz, would you like to give us Keith's
my
question?
screen? Right, it's quite simple. Can you name these stars that have been highlighted?
Interesting.
Oh, yay. Hang on.
Yeah, don't forget to write your answers down. We know.
And this is for 1 point.
Yeah.
What question number is this? I'm getting too excited.
Oh, number 8 I've got.
This is number 8. Yeah, sorry, we should number the questions.
Right, is that long enough?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Okay. That's Keith's first question.
I had another easy constellation one, which was, if you want to throw that one in as well.
Okay.
Since it's in the easier theme, which was which constellation is known as the herdsman?
The herdsman. The next question, which constellation is known as the herdsman?
Right. And I've got another one just to make it up to 10 if you wish.
Yes, okay, we'll have 10 questions then.
Okay, so Rachel's was which constellation?
Do bear with us, viewers. It's been a bit of an ad hoc put together because we weren't sure who'd be able to make it on the panel tonight, and it's been a bit ad hoc. So please bear with us for improvising this slightly.
Right, and the last easy question is which planet rotates in the opposite direction from the others?
Right. Which planet rotates in the opposite direction from all of the others? Okay. So let's just go through the questions again, starting with Roger. Question 1.
Name the area that Apollo 11 have landed. It can either be the English or the Latin name.
Okay, thank you. Question 2 from Rachel.
Which constellation is represented by the little fox?
The little fox. Question 3 from Bernard.
What part of the electromagnetic spectrum is between the ultraviolet and gamma rays?
Right, thank you. Question 4 from Daz.
Can you name and where is the tallest volcano in the solar system?
Okay, thank you. Question 5 from Lou.
What are the rings of Saturn made of?
What are the rings of Saturn made of? And then from Kareem.
Other than Saturn, name 4 solar system objects with rings.
Right. And then lastly, we had some questions from a question from Keith.
Oh, Keith, sorry. Yeah. Could you name the stars? Oh, dear me. I was asleep then. Sorry, I do apologize. Can you name these stars?
Okay, thank you for that. And then I think we had one extra one from Rachel. Do we not? I think that was the correct order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said which constellation is known as the herdsman?
Okay.
Didn't we forget yours, Andy? Yours was in there after mine.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, basically, what was the name? I've got to hang on, share my screen again.
Oh, so professional.
Okay,
It's our first one.
Yeah. What is the name of this observatory and where would you find it? That was the one I was missing. Where would you find this and what's it called? Okay.
And the last one was which planet rotates in the opposite direction from all the others?
Which planet rotates in the opposite direction from all the others? So, viewers, that's round one over with. We can all breathe a sigh of relief. And we will be back with round two, which are slightly more difficult questions, after we've heard from Rachel, who is going to take us through this week's Viewers Gallery, which are images that you've been kind enough to send us. So, Rachel, what have you got in the gallery for us this week?
Good collection again. I've got a little bit of everything. Sorry, I'm just laughing because my husband's telling me the question answers he's put for his quiz, and I'm telling him I'm not telling him the answers yet.
Quite right too.
Okay. So well, I don't know if Daz, since you're here, I don't know if you want to talk through yours, Daz, since it's your image.
Yeah, basically it's we've had some really beautiful photographs, images over the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to put something up. This is basically taken with a standard DSLR. It is using a 600mm lens, and it was a picture of the sun, and you can actually see the two big sunspots that has been causing all the problems this week. There is some more technical details there, and it was just basically I wanted just to show what you can take with, but then again, I will emphasize, do not take any photographs of the sun or look at the sun, even with your naked eye, without proper protection. This was taken with a white filter, and you can see that there's two big major sunspots with two small spots in between. And this has been giving us a bit of trouble this week with some radio interference and other things. But again, it's just, I haven't altered this in Photoshop or anything. So with basic standard equipment, you can just take these photographs, and it'll be surprising what you can learn and what you can actually see. I just wanted to show that you can do stuff without actually having to invest in Photoshop and things like that. That's the only reason I put that up. But I will emphasize again, this was taken with a proper filter. Never point anything at the sun without protection on it. My philosophy is the first thing I always do is I put the filter on the camera or on the telescope, and it's the last thing I take off also after I've moved the alignment off of the sun. It'll be surprising how easy and how quickly you can damage your own eyesight.
Wise words. Wise words. This is the sunspot group that doubled in size in 24 hours, which was quite incredible. So there we are. Okay, Rachel, what have we got next?
So we've got one by Nigel here, Nigel Arnold, and he sent us his Heart Nebula. And again, there's lots of techie details there. And this was his first image taken with his mono camera. So he'd been using a one-shot color ZWO camera for about 2 to 3 years, and made the jump to mono and came with this gorgeous image.
Lovely.
It is one of my favorite nebulas. I love
lovely.
This.
Holy moly.
Beautiful.
Superb. Gosh, wish I could take photos like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the illumination around these edges. You know, it feels like a lagoon of water underneath, and
it's amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sending that in.
I stuck mine in just because I didn't know if anybody else was doing it, and then I thought I'll go on then. And it had just got put on the front of the little mag, so I thought, why not? But we did the Flaming Star Nebula. We did it over 3 nights, which we tend to really, because I like my sleep, which is about 9 hours, 10 hours total integration time. Again, using a one-shot color and an L-enhanced filter. So this is by me and Johnny, and it's the Flaming Star Nebula. I do like it on the other rotation as well, but it was hard to fit it in that way. I think it looks more like a flame when you have it the other way around.
That is fantastic. Yeah,
that's lovely.
It's rare that I do an image in I believe this was in Auriga.
Wow.
And that's 10 hours of integration time.
Yeah, it was quite a noisy area around for the sky, and we do have to compete with a lot of light pollution and things. So I would have liked it to be smoother, really. I can say this because it's my own image. but yeah, it was around 10 hours integration time. I think we got about 3 hours each night, give or take. Yeah.
That is beautiful, Rachel.
This is a sun mosaic by Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Again, I think he's watching. So he was saying that this is the chromosphere surface of the sun, showing several active regions of filaments and prominences. The disk shows an inverted image, which looks more three-dimensional and blends the edges better. And then he's colorized it in Photoshop.
Beautiful.
That's fantastic.
That is amazing.
And I'm assuming this is taken with, yes, it says at the top there, H-alpha filter.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. Beautiful.
Really, really nice.
That's absolutely lovely. Well done, Kev.
And that's it for now. I can go on to, I think I had one question to lead into that I think was an image question.
Yeah.
If you want me to go straight into it, or
yes, absolutely.
Well, just one question before you do that. When you put the Heart Nebula up, of course, we've got to mention it's the Heart and Soul Nebula, isn't it?
Well, the Soul Nebula is not quite there, but yeah, obviously
Yeah.
the Soul Nebula is near it.
Yeah, so it's so there's two there.
This is part of the Fish Head Nebula, this one.
Yeah, the Fish Head Nebula at the bottom. I think that's the one I was referring to. Actually, I got it wrong. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, so there's two nebulae in there. It's really fantastic and really nice. Yeah, I like that. Like it a lot.
And Das, there's a question for you in the YouTube chat. It says, did you make your own with film, or is this a purchase filter? 600 mils probably is a large opening to cover.
No, it's because, like I said, I was using a 600 mil lens. Luckily, I had a filter from a 3-inch small reflector telescope, which is designed basically for sun watching, and it fits nicely onto the end of the lens. So it's a shop bought one, but you can get the film and make your own. But I'm lazy, so sticky back plastic and all that, and drain pipe cleaners. That's not for me. So no, it was a shop bought one. Yes, thanks for the question.
Okay, all right. Right, Rachel, if you could just stop sharing the screen again.
Well, mine's a visual, so I was going to go into the question if I can go straight on.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to keep the order going so I know where I am. But
just because it's here.
Yeah, okay, carry on with the question then.
Okay, so the first one of my harder ones, and then I'll stop sharing, is name the nebula.
Gosh.
Interesting. And you can have it sort of common name. I've got sort of 4 names I'll accept from it. So it could be its number, its catalog, its name, or known as. Okay, so question. This will be question 11 in the quiz. Rachel's question: name that nebula. I'll name that nebula in 6. So name that nebula. Okay. Well, now we've changed yours slightly. So from where I am, let's go to Bernard for question 12.
Okay, all right. Let me share my screen. Is this gonna work? Right. Oh no, I have the impression. Sorry, folks. I think I'm gonna unshare my screen because I don't know where I am. Can you see something?
There's something there. It says click to add title.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
That's not the question. What do you have to do to add the title?
How do I go back? I don't want to stop sharing. I'm just going to stop share. I don't know why. I'm having a technical difficulty. Right.
Okay, shall we come back to you, Bernard?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. In which case, we'll go to Daz for your second question, Daz. So we'll make this question 12. This will be question 12.
Okay, then. It's commonly agreed now amongst most astronomers that the moon was formed by a protoplanet hitting the proto-Earth, destroying both and then forming a debris field where the moon and the Earth formed from. Can you name the object that actually hit the Earth. It was given a name,
Ooh.
and it also gives a name to the hypothesis that is built around it.
That's
so can
right.
you name the object that hit the Earth to form the moon and also gave the name to the hypothesis?
Okay, great. Thank you, Daz. Right, so next in the order will be me, actually. Let me just share my screen. 1 second. Hope you're enjoying yourselves out there, viewers. We are, I think. Okay, so this question is about solar system objects, and I've got 4 of them that I would like you to name. It's quite straightforward. So we're going to give 2 points for each question in this round. So there are 4 of these, so I will let you have half a point for each question, maximum of 2. Okay. So this is A. What is this object?
Can we just name it with its short?
However
name?
you want to name it, as long as it's true.
This is Bob. I'm naming it Bob. I think he looks like a Bob.
Yeah, I thought it was Dave.
B. What is that? And that only has one name that I'm aware of. Okay. C. These are all objects in the solar system. And this one is certainly one of the most bizarre.
Looks like a pie that I made. That would be in the solar system.
Put that down, Lou. Put that down.
Didn't get cooked that well.
Is that the actual image, or is it cropped, or is that?
No, that's the actual image. That's the actual.
I was thinking ravioli. What's it stuffed with?
Whatever you want it to be. Okay, and lastly, D. I'll just go through those again very quickly. A, B, C, and D. What are these objects? Half a point for each. And there we have it. Right, next in the order then, we have Lou for question 13. 13, yes. Question
Okay.
13.
14.
No,
14. 14.
14, yes, sorry.
Question 14.
14.
I don't really have to share my screen to ask this, but I'm going to. That doesn't look right. Did that come up right?
We can see the slide, but not the slideshow.
Okay, as long as you can see the slide.
Okay.
One of the most fundamental numbers in astronomy is the Hubble constant. There's a little controversy over exactly what its value is. But so let's make it easy. Let's say within plus or minus 5. What is the value of the Hubble constant, and what are the units it's measured in?
Good questions. Are you awarding 1 point for each of those answers, Lou?
I guess so, right? It's a 2-point round. So 1 point for each of the answers. What's its value and what are its units? Value plus or minus 5, since there's some little bit of controversy still.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Then we come to Roger.
Right. Well, mine's a bit more.
50.
It's a bit more simpler, this one. Name the first rover to go on Mars. What was the name of the first rover on Mars?
Okay, thank you very much. And last but definitely not least, Kareem.
And then we have to go back to Bernard still. Don't forget.
I know.
So,
Thanks, Kareem.
a couple of days ago, well, just under a week ago, we celebrated the summer solstice when Eratosthenes had done his wonderful experiment to figure out the circumference of the Earth. Now, we repeat the experiment not on the summer solstice, but on the equinox. So if we were on the equinox and I put a flagpole on the North Pole of the Earth, how far would its shadow extend? If I put a 1 meter flagpole on the North Pole, how far would its shadow extend?
What?
Right. Okay.
You wondered?
Well,
All right,
we did say
all right,
slightly.
all right. Here we go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not Nobel Prize winning questions. Okay.
And I thought
So
Lou's
on the
question.
equinox, if you put a 1 meter pole on the North Pole, how far would its shadow extend? Yeah. Right. And Bernard, have you solved your technical problems now?
It's fine. I'm gonna do some. I'm just gonna read it out.
Okay, fine.
It's okay. What is the name of the chemical compound and potential biomarker that was thought to be detected within the Venusian atmosphere in 2020 by British astronomers? That made so much news, so it's not such a hard question, but I'll repeat it again. What is the name of the chemical compound and potential biomarker that was thought to be detected within the Venusian atmosphere, so the atmosphere of Venus, in 2020 by British astronomers?
Right, thank you.
One fun fact with that, the American-Canadian astronomer who worked with them, Sarah Seeger from MIT, yesterday was announced as the honorary president of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada for the next year.
Oh, fantastic. Well done, Sarah. Yeah. She's a wonderful communicator, Sarah. She really
Absolutely.
is. Yeah.
I've also got Keith's second question.
Oh, okay, great. Well, lastly, we'll come back to you for Keith's second question then.
Where are we? So everything's taking some time.
Hope you're enjoying this still, viewers, after Kareem's question. Has anybody seen whether the viewership figures have gone down after that question?
Actually, it's gone up.
It's gone up. Fantastic.
Can you name these science fiction films?
They're both very good.
Debatable. Remember, Andy, you made me watch one of them. That was 2 3/4 hours of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah, you pretended you hated it, but I know you loved it, really.
Yeah, but then he made me watch it, and I was like, "What?"
Okay.
I must suffer. There we go.
There we go. Okay, thank you for that. Let's have a quick revision of the questions for round 2. I believe we start with Rachel.
Oh gosh, my question. Oh, the name. Do you want me to show it?
Yes, please. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
I can. 1 second. Some jitting between screens here. Okay. It was, can you name the nebula?
Name that nebula. So that was question 11. Okay, I believe we come to Daz next.
That's right. Can you name the object that hit the proto-Earth that helped form the Earth and the Moon?
Right.
And it gave its name to the hypothesis as well that's named that.
Okay. So my question, 4 solar system objects, can you name them? Half a point for each. So A, what is that? B, C, and lastly, D.
I know that. What's it?
Okay, Lou, please.
Okay. My question is, what is the value of the Hubble constant as we know it today? Plus or minus 5 will be fine. And what units is it measured in?
Thank you. Kareem.
It was Roger next.
Oh, yes, you're quite right. It's Roger next. Sorry,
Right.
the windows have changed order on the screen, so it's hard to
Right.
keep order going. Okay, Roger.
Name the first rover to go and land on Mars.
First rover on Mars.
Yes.
And then I believe it was you, Kareem.
Yes. Did you want me to repeat it, or are you still in shell shock from last time?
I think you better repeat it just to be on the safe side.
If on the equinox you put a 1 meter stick at the North Pole, how far would its shadow extend? And I mentioned that Eratosthenes did his experiment to measure the circumference of the Earth on the summer solstice as a little bit of a hint.
There we are. So, North Pole and sticks from Kareem. Bernard.
What was the compound and potential biomarker that we have thought to discover in the atmosphere of Venus in 2020?
Right. What was the name of the compound allegedly discovered in the atmosphere of Venus?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. And lastly, Keith's last question, Daz.
Oh, sorry. See, I must pay attention.
Write it out 50 times.
Yeah. Can you name these films, science fiction films?
Okay, thank you for that. Well, viewers, that brings us to the end of the quiz. Did anybody here make a note of how many eventual questions there were?
Well, there was 10.
Was it 18? I think
18 total.
18 total. Yeah.
18.
Okay. So we have 10 in the first round and 8 in the second. So in the first round, it's 1 point per correct answer. And in the second round, it's maximum of 2. So, okay. Well, we hope you've all enjoyed that. And what we're going to do now is to run through the actual answers for round 1. And I believe we start with Roger.
Right.
Roger, could you tell us the question and what the answer was, please?
Right. Name the area that the Apollo 11 crew landed, and that is Sea of Tranquility or Mare Tranquillitatis.
Spell that, please.
Something approaching it. If you've got something that sounds vaguely like it, viewers, then that will do. So give yourself a point for that one. And now, because all these windows are moved around, I've no idea who the next question came from.
Rachel was next.
Rachel was next. Thank you, Des. I'm glad somebody's keeping track. Right, Rachel, would you like to give us the question and the answer, please?
Yeah. Which constellation is represented as the little fox? And it's Vulpecula.
Vulpecula, indeed. So 1 point for that.
And it was Barnard?
Yes.
Yes. So my question was, what part of the electromagnetic spectrum is between the ultraviolet and the gamma rays? And that is the X-rays.
Yes.
Yes.
X-rays is the right
Well
one.
done if you got that.
Yeah.
Right. So the X-ray spectrum lays between the ultraviolet and gamma rays. So there we are. Well done.
Me
Okay.
next.
Yes.
The question was, name the tallest volcano in the solar system. It is Olympus Mons, and it resides on Mars. It is 214 21 kilometers high, which is 13.6 miles. It is 2.5 times the height of Everest. The cliffs at the base of the volcano are up to 8 kilometers, which is 5 miles high. So that's a bit of a climb. But once you've mastered that, it's a gentle slope of 5 degrees right to the top. If you're actually at the top of Mount Mons Olympus, you cannot see the horizon of this with space from the Mars surface. The actual horizon will be created by the mountain itself. You are so high, and the size of Mars, that you're actually too high to be able to see the horizon. So yeah, there you go.
There we are. Thank you very much. I believe it was Lou next.
Hey, my first question was, what are the rings of Saturn made of? And almost entirely, they're made of water ice, which is why they're so brilliant and reflective and why we can see them so easily from Earth. There are some coatings of minor constituents, hydrocarbons, and so on, but largely, almost entirely, water ice.
So the answer is water ice.
Water ice.
And then I think we came to Kareem.
Yeah, we had a question. Other than Saturn, name 4 solar system objects with rings. And so just to fly through them with a few pretty pictures. First off, we had Uranus in order of discovery. And Uranus, it was through occultations that we were able to see it. But there is a suspicion that Herschel may have seen actual rings way back when he first observed it. There's Jupiter, and that was viewed first by Voyager 2, and or Voyager 1 had seen some interesting stuff around it. It's made of very dark materials, so we can only really see it in the IR if we're trying to see it from Earth. Neptune, which has a really nice ring system, but some of the rings are broken, which is kind of cool. And then those are the 3 that I think everybody probably got or were able to get. So the hard part here is the 4th one. So if you got those 3, you get a half mark. The other half mark is, can you get the 4th one? And for the 4th one, you have a few choices. You've got a centaur planet, Chariklo. You've got a couple of dwarf planets, Chiron and Haumea. But I will also accept, since I said solar system objects, if you decide to put the sun, because the sun has a beautiful ring called the asteroid belt. And it's even got a broken ring called the Trojan.
Sneaky. Oh.
Actually, I did put the sun.
There we go.
I got that.
So a half mark for Uranus, Neptune, and Jupiter, and a half mark if you get one of the 4th.
Thank you, Kareem. It's better than your second question. So there we are. Okay, then my question. Let me just share my screen again. What is the name of this observatory, and where would you find it? It is, one second, Paranal Observatory, and it's in Chile. Paranal in Chile is the answer for that.
Got that wrong.
Okay.
Hold on, Andy. That looks so much like the VLT.
Yes, the VLT is the name of the telescope, but the observatory is called Paranal Observatory. That's
I made the same mistake.
Yeah.
Do we get a half mark?
No.
No.
That was supposed to be an easy question.
No, the name of the observatory is Paranal. VLT, the Very Large Telescope, is the name of the instruments that are on it, but the observatory is called Paranal Observatory. So that is the Very Large Telescope, of course, carrying on a long tradition of naming telescopes with the simplest of names because it's very large. Of course, the Europeans are building the world's biggest ever optical telescope in Chile. And that one is called the Extremely Large Telescope, or ELT. But that in itself came out of an earlier design that was scrapped because it was too expensive, that was called OWL, the Overwhelmingly Large Telescope. Fantastic names. Whoever thinks of these names deserves a medal because it does what it says on the tin, basically. So there we are. Okay, then, moving on. If you've scored yourselves with that round, viewers, we're going to move straight on to the next round, or the next questions.
Well, we've got some more questions, yeah?
Oh, yes, we have. That's true.
Yes,
Yes, we have
and
Keith.
was it? And when Keith's was, can you name these two stars?
And they
Of
are?
course, that's Polaris and Betelgeuse, or Betelgeuse. Don't say it 3 times. So that's the 2 stars. So you got Polaris and you got Betelgeuse.
Right, absolutely.
Right, there you go. I'll just get rid of that. Thank you.
Was that 1 mark for 2?
Yeah, 1 mark for 2. Yeah.
1, yeah.
Oh, and then Rachel was next.
Rachel's final question, yes.
I'm looking at my answer, so I'm wondering what my question was. I think my question was, which constellation is known as the herdsman?
Yep. The herdsman, yeah. Which is?
There is Boetes.
Ah, Boetes, yes.
I call it booties.
Or boots or
Booties. Well, that's what made me laugh, because that's what Johnny had put on his answer. He texted me booty, and I was like, it's not booty.
Ooh, shake your booties.
Yeah, Boetes or booties or, something resembling that will give you the mark for. People do say it in different ways. I believe that's all the questions for round one.
No, there's one more from me.
Daz had one.
Oh, Daz had one, yes.
Which planet spins in the opposite direction from all the rest? And that's Venus.
Yes, Venus does spin in a different direction from all of the rest.
Yeah, and then you've also got Uranus, which is on its side as well. So that's
yes,
but it still spins in the same direction as the others.
Absolutely. And I believe, there was an article I saw today why Venus spins in the opposite direction, but I didn't get a chance to read it. So I will have a read up of that and see what people are saying. Okay, that's round one over with, I think I'm right in saying. So we will go, thunder starting here. So we will go straight on and go on to the questions for round two. And I believe we started with Rachel again for round two.
Yep, mine was the name of the nebula image, and it was the Veil Nebula. You could have also, the Western Veil Nebula. You could have also had, NGC 6960, I want to say, or Caldwell 64, or the Witch's Brew. It's all different names for the same thing.
Right, fantastic. Thank you. So 2 points for that one. Who was next?
There's me next.
You next, Daz?
Yeah. Basically, the question I asked was, can you name the object that hit the proto-Earth to create the Earth and the Moon? And it was actually called Thea. And it's the Thea hypothesis.
Right.
Thea was, she's from Greek mythology. She was a Titan. She was the daughter of Gaia. Of course, Gaia is associated with Earth. Gaia's husband was Uranus, and basically they had a ruck of children, which included Thea and Hyperion, who bit of a dysfunctional family. Thea and Hyperion had three children. One was Helios, one was Eos, and one was Selene. And of course, you'll find all these objects in the sky as moons, or as Selene is the name for another name for the moon, where we get the Selenic cycle from. And with Thea being the mother, it's sort of like all fits in nicely. They were a pretty dysfunctional family. It's worth having a look at the mythology about the Titans. Very dysfunctional.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Who was next?
You were.
Right. Okay, 1 second. That's right, I was next. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so these were 4 solar system objects. The first one is Comet 67P.
Churyumov-Gerasimenko.
Say that again, Daz.
You bugger. Churyumov-Gerasimenko. Oh, look.
Right.
Comet Chury.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll accept the short name or the long name for that, but I think most people, because of the trouble that we have pronouncing this particular comet, I think most people just refer to it as Comet 67P.
Yeah.
Okay, B. Did any of the panel get B?
I put Aristine. I don't think it is.
Right. And any other ideas?
No.
No. It's a fascinating object because if you look at it, its surface has been almost completely filled in by landslides. And this indicates that's a very modern, recent surface because there were no craters. It is, in fact, Ln, moon of Saturn. It's one of the moons of Saturn. So there we are. Okay, next, C. Anybody get C?
Is it Dione?
No.
It's Pan.
It's Pan.
Oh.
And again, that's a moon of Saturn. This is a particularly odd moon because, well, you can see it's particularly odd because it's shaped like pasta. It looks like a bit of ravioli, and it's got this weird ridge going around its equator. And what astronomers believe is that at one point it had a ring which collapsed onto its surface, forming this equatorial ridge. There are a couple of moons around Saturn that exhibit the same equatorial ridge. We don't have very good pictures of them because when Cassini took this photo, it was quite some distance away. But it's a weird object, and it's Pan. It's a tiny moon of Saturn. Used to have a ring that collapsed to form this weird ridge around its equator. Okay, and lastly, D. Anybody?
Ganymede.
Yes, it's Ganymede. Yes, that's Ganymede, moon of Jupiter. As anybody know what spacecraft took this photo?
Juno.
Yeah, it was taken by the Jupiter probe Juno on its flyby. And we're looking forward to, I think it's September, when we have a close flyby of Europa from Juno. That is going to be stunning because the last pictures close up that were taken of Europa was by Voyager. So it's going to be really interesting this September to see a close up images of Europa, this moon that is thought could have life because we know it's got a subsurface ocean which contains more water than all of Earth's oceans put together. And there might be life there. And of course, to look at it with modern cameras, high resolution, is going to be stunning. So there we are. So that was half a point for each of those. So 2 points in total. Okay, where do we go next?
What we got? Oh, was it Lou?
Lou, yeah.
Okay. The question was a two-part question. The first was, what is within plus or minus 5? What is the value of the Hubble constant? And it's rather embarrassing that we don't have that thing pinned down quite yet. If you use Cepheid variables, you get a value of 72 to 73, red giants in the order of 70 or so. You can compute it with gravitational waves near the value of around 70. The cosmic microwave background gives you a value of 73. I think type 1a supernova distances give you something a little less. So a value of 70 would do it, kind of bracketing
Around
between about
70,
65 and 75 or so. And the units are kilometers per second per megaparsec. Okay, so kilometers per second is the velocity. That's how fast the galaxies out past a certain distance are moving away from us. And then megaparsec is a distance. They didn't use that in Star Wars, did they?
No, they
parsec.
They used that as a unit of time, didn't they?
Yes.
The Kessel run in 12 parsecs.
That's it. So
Yeah.
this is a unit of distance,
Fools.
a million parsecs. And so when you have velocity and distance, you can plot them and draw a line through your data. And the slope of that line is the Hubble constant.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Lou. I think we came to either Roger or Kareem next. I think
Roger.
No, it's me.
Roger.
Right. Okay. Name the first rover to go on the surface of Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Pathfinder.
Absolutely. The size of a shoebox.
Wasn't it called Sojourner?
Sojourners.
Yes, Sojourner was the actual rover, yes.
Yeah, Sojourner. That's what I put. Could I have a point? Or 2
Go on,
points?
then.
2 points.
Go on then.
One.
Thank you very much. Job's a good one.
So Sojourner for that.
Mm-hmm.
Sojourner was the name of the first rover. Tiny little thing.
Yeah.
But it worked, amazingly. And it had an X-ray spectrometer that it was using to analyze rocks. So it performed some really useful science. Okay, I really hesitate to come to this one. But anyway, Kareem, do you want to tell us all about poles and north poles?
So my question was, on the equinox, if we put a 1 meter pole at the North Pole, how large of a shadow would it give? And this was building off the Eratosthenes experiment, where he saw that in a town in Egypt, Syene, on the summer solstice, there was no shadow. And where he lived in Alexandria, there was a small 7.5 degree shadow, or 7 and a bit. And so he was able to figure out the circumference of the Earth. Now, that's on the summer solstice, but on the equinox, we know that the sun actually shines directly at the equator. So if you put a pole at the North Pole or the South Pole, it would give you an infinite shadow on the equinox.
It was a trick question.
Yeah.
How is that a trick question?
We got it. We got you. We got you, Kareem. We know where you're coming from.
That's noted.
So an infinite shadow. Ooh, tough one.
Believe it or not, my second place hard question was about Hubble, and so I don't know where Lou and I are on wavelengths here, but this is kind of scary.
Apple pie. Is that what you're thinking right now?
Super.
Very close. Apple oatmeal.
There's Barnard next.
Yep, Bernard next.
Yeah, so what was the compound or the biomarker that we thought was detected on Venus? And that was phosphine. Phosphine is created with phosphorus, and phosphorus is a molecule that we think might, of course, originate from volcanoes, but also organic activity. And unfortunately, the detection was debunked later on through further analysis, and it was shown to be an error in data processing or data analysis. Unfortunately for the team and for all of us, but I do think it was instrumental in getting those 2 new missions from Mars to Venus, as well as the European one.
I have mixed feelings about that, Bernard, because I think the attention should have been on visiting the ice giants instead of going back to Venus.
I'm an ice giant guy, so I completely concur with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been since we've sent something to Venus. It could have died by now. We wouldn't know.
I did read a little while ago that planetary scientists think they've identified 26 active volcanoes on Venus, which is quite a thought. So if there were phosphine in the atmosphere, then it could well be coming from those volcanoes. And of course, on the Earth, phosphine is found in the stomach of penguins.
Yeah.
So I was very keen on the idea that there might be penguins in the atmosphere of Venus. Who knows? Who knows?
It's not debunked. It's still possible.
Absolutely. I might write a paper about it, actually. So that's a possibility. The flying penguins of Venus. Okay, I think we were back to you next. Were we, Daz, for Keith's question?
Just for Keith's question, the 2 films were Space Odyssey and Interstellar.
2001, A Space Odyssey, we should say.
2001, sorry. Yeah.
And Interstellar.
And Interstellar.
I thought Interstellar was great. It was one of those films. I saw it at the cinema, and I came out after, because that was a nearly 3-hour film, and I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not. But then the next day, I decided that I really loved it. And a phenomenal thing about that, which should be noted, is the score by Hans Zimmer. The music for that was just absolutely incredible. There's a video on YouTube of somebody playing it on a huge pipe organ in a church in Germany, and it's just absolutely stunning. Great music. Love Hans Zimmer. Okay, then. Viewers, how did you get on with all those? How did you get on with the first round and the second round? We'll give you a couple of minutes to tally your scores up. I believe I'm right in saying that the total number of points is 26. Can somebody confirm that?
Something like that.
Yeah. Because we had 10 for the first round and 8 for the second round. That makes 26 points in total. So you should be getting a score out of 26. And to do this, when we tell you, just so that everybody does it at the same time, so nobody says, "Oh God, that person got that score, I'm going to add onto mine." We'll tell you in a moment when you can put it in the live chat. So if we could all just have a look at the live chat.
Oh, Derek's premature.
Okay, right.
Well done, Derek. Well done, Derek.
Well, there we are. Viewers, if you'd like to put your scores out of 26 in the live chat now, and let's see how we got on. So Derek's 9.5. Kev, not pathetic at all, mate.
No,
very good, 12.5. Let's see if any other scores go into the chat.
Ooh, being shy.
Were the questions on planet that rotates in reverse and Polaris and Betelgeuse 2 points each?
No, they were
the stars were 1 point.
1 point, and also Venus was 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point each for those in astronomy. 8 from Ian. Michael Murphy, 21.5. Well done, Michael.
Well done.
That's a great score.
Amazing, Michael.
Well done.
You should join
Hogarth's
the panel.
Astrophotography 10.
That's
Great.
nice, yeah. Kevin Earp, 12.
Kevin Earp still 12.5. Harold, bad luck, mate. Only 8, but thank you for taking part. 16 then for Nastronomy. Rachel got 15.
Oh,
well done, Johnny
Rachel.
did, not me.
Wow.
Well done.
Mr. Johnny did, not me. I got 13.
Oh, good.
It just won't let Johnny type in the chat for some reason, so I've put it in for him.
Roger got 16. Michael, you're still in the lead.
Yeah, I got 16 as well.
I didn't actually take part because I was too busy watching things. So,
but what I've done there is I haven't counted in the ones that I had the answers for.
That's very good of you, Daz.
Yeah.
If I had taken part, I'd have got 26, of course.
You had answers for some, Daz?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
it's the working behind the scenes that does it.
Yeah, when I did the first adding up, I had 27. I didn't know how that worked out. There you go. Any more? What else we got? Oh, Karim, 23.5.
Karim, that's amazing.
Half of my questions were actually Lou's and Bernard's. Like, I mean, I had the same questions written down here for my choices.
I got to have mine in. No, that's fantastic. There's some really good scores there. Well done, everybody, and thanks for taking part.
Yeah, thank you all for taking part. Any more viewers want to post their scores, or do you not want us to see them? Okay, if you do want to see a score, post it now. Okay, I think that's about it then. So I would like to declare that the winner of our first Space Oddities quiz, and we are going to do this again before too long, is, apart from Kareem, because he doesn't count, of our viewers, Michael Murphy is top dog in the quiz. Round of applause for Michael.
Done.
Well done,
Space
Michael.
Oddities, top dog. Well done. Well done.
But it's not the taking part that matters, it's the winning. Yeah. So well done, Michael. Thank you for taking part. Thank you all for taking part. Yeah. And this brings us to the end of tonight's show. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a great bit of fun. Yes, Nastromily says, thanks for this. This was fun. No one tell my boss I was here instead of working. We certainly won't. Don't worry. Our lips are sealed. And lastly, if you look in the live chat, Rachel has just posted the email address to send your viewers gallery entries to. Thank you all very much again for doing this. We hope you'll come and see us again next week. We'll have more chat and discussion going on then. We also hope, of course, you'll consider liking our videos, subscribing to our channel, and telling everybody you know, literally everybody you know, about Space Oddities, because we do value you being here. So thank you from all of us. Do you want to say goodnight, panel?
Yes, thank you very much,
good
everybody.
Night.
Hit those likes,
and all clear skies.
Hit those likes.
Guys, everybody, we'll be back here at 8 o'clock UK time again next Monday. Until then, have a fantastic week. From me, Andy, it's goodbye.
Thank you.